Sorry for writing on just an envelope, but it's the best I could find right now. So whenever you guys a question like this, the first thing to remember is, of course, the order of operations. So I'm going to write just the order of operations over here. We remember it from like PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses, then exponent, then multiply or divide, whichever one comes first, and then add or subtract. That's the addition symbol. We're going to add or subtract whichever one comes first. So when we look at our equation here, or expression, we have parentheses, so we're going to solve this first. But we can't solve 2/3 plus 3/5 yet because it doesn't have common denominators. To find the common denominator, and I'll just kind of do a squiggly line and do my work over here. We're going to have to bring our denominators, which is the bottom, over here. And we would just write factors until, or multiples, I'm sorry. We would just write multiples until they have one in common. I know this is going to be 15 and their cheat code on that one would just be to multiply 3 times 5. Because they would both share 15. And I've always told them to circle the one that they have in common. So our new denominator right here needs to be 15, and the new denominator over here needs to be 15. So the question on the computer was basically just trying to get you to first rewrite these fractions to where they have common denominators. So when we have to change the denominator, we also have to change the numerator because that would change the the quantity or the value of the fraction. So right here we did 3 times 5 is 15. If we do times 5 down here, we have to do the same thing to our numerator. So 2 times 5 is 10. And then you come over here, 5 times 3 was 15. And you can also use your multiples over here. So 5 times 1, 2, 3 was 15. 5 times 3. If we put 5 times 3 down here, we have to do times 3 at the top too. So 3 times 3 is 9. And then our next part of the equation is to actually solve. So now that we have changed our fractions where they have common denominators, we can now solve it. So we would do 10 plus 9 is 19. Your denominator stays the same. And then we would bring down the times 3. So I like to just put arrows to show everything that's going on. And then to solve this, we would make this whole number a fraction by putting it over 1. And when we multiply, we would just go straight across. So 19 times 3. I always do my scratch work over here somewhere else. 19 times 3. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So this would be 57 over 1 times 5 is 15. But we can't leave it as an improper fraction, so we're going to have to divide it. Let's see, we have all maybe down here. So we're going to do 57. And also on our mid-module test, there will be a question that's going to give them just like a fraction that's like basically just like that. And it just wants you to rewrite it like 57 divided by 15. So there'll be like 2 blanks like this. So you would just take the improper fraction and then put it like this in this form. But anyway, back to our problem. So we're going to divide 57 by 15. So I'm just going to come way down here. Okay. So one thing I try to get them to do if there's a 2-digit divisor, because it's kind of harder that way, is to come over to the side and write their multiples of 15. So I'm just going to go through and we're going to go until we go over 57. So 15, 30, 45, 60. 60 is too big to fit in 57, so we're going to use 45. So we're going to go 5 times 1, 2, or 15 times 1, 2, 3. Another important thing is that they put the number correctly in the division problem. So if you put the 3 over that 5, it would mean that 15 can go into 5 3 times, which is not true. So we have to put it over the 7. So 15 times 3 is 45. Then we subtract. 7 minus 5 is 2. 5 minus 4 is 1. And then 15 cannot fit in 12, and there's nothing else to bring down. So we're going to swoop it this way. I try to teach them like it's a clock. So you start at the top, and then you go, and as you touch the numbers, that's how it's going to set up. So I set it up like A, B, C. A is 3. The next one we go to is B. And the last one we get to is C. And we could simplify, but I am accepting it like this. So if we simplify, we would just divide the top and bottom with the same thing. I know they can both be divided by 3. So final answer would be this one, or I would also accept this without the simplification yet, but eventually they'll have to start simplifying. I really hope that helped. I'm sorry if it was confusing, but here's the whole problem.